I posted a video about postmenopausal women as a joke, was made in good fun. And then Richard posted this comment about post-wall women being invisible. A post-wall woman is somebody who has passed her fertility window and has become unattractive. It's like she hit a wall at full speed and her face got messed up.
I've been called a post-wall woman twice. It's interesting how people can come up with such creative terms to tear people down. Too bad they don't come up with such terms to lift people up. Oh well.
Here's another main comment about hitting the wall. I received an earlier comment about being a post-wall woman. According to the Urban Dictionary, post-wall woman is a woman who's aged past her fertility window and is no longer attractive. It's as if she hit a wall. If you Google post-wall women, it also talks about women in their 30s who have hit the wall and they no longer can rely on their looks to get what they want, such as talking their way out of a speeding ticket, and they don't have men hitting on them as much. Being called a post-wall woman or hitting the wall doesn't bother me because I'm sure that this person is very superficial and this person is probably a lot younger. I think that older men have more to offer to older women and older women have more to offer to older men. I know that I have so much more to offer at 50 than I did when I was in my 20s.
Yo, what is going on, guys? I hope you are all doing well. So on today's episode, we are going to be taking a look at a manosphere video of women over the age of 35 hitting the wall. Now, guys, before we jump in, don't forget to go and subscribe to Manosphere for the creation of today's episode. These things are an absolute pain to put together because you have to listen to these individuals more than once. So without further ado, let's just jump right in. Don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments.
But according to the Passport Bros and the Red Pill guys, I too hold the high honor of being a post-wall, bitter, single baby mama. And one thing you gotta know about me is I take this role very seriously. So at almost 36 years old, I saw an opportunity to come on and just give my opinion and laugh a little bit before I had to really just admit that I am an old bitter hag and throw in the towel and take the shit to Facebook like all of the other old bitter hags. So that's really why, but thanks for commenting and stopping by.
Let me play a sad song for you on the world's smallest violin.
If women don't care about Passport Bros, why are so many women on TikTok making videos about them? You shouldn't make videos about something you don't care about.
Women are complaining about Passport Bros because even though they say that they don't want these men, a lot of the women actually do want these men to stick around, if anything, for the free attention and free validation. A lot of these women have issues when men in Western countries leave them. You know, a lot of dudes are not interested in marrying Western women. They're not interested in having relationships. And despite the fact that apparently these are just old, dusty men who, you know, can't get any girls anyway, Manosphere's right. You know, these girls seem to have an issue with it. Or they say they don't have an issue with it. And yet they're just sitting here recording videos all day about how it's bad. Let's keep going.
You know what? Dating sucks. Like, I don't know what is wrong with me. Like, why does that? Like, I feel like it happens for everyone around. They meet someone, and then the guy just knows. For sure. You're the one. You're the one I've been looking for. I have to have you. And they just get picked. They're there. You know, I'm in my 30s, and I'm just an option. I'm a placeholder. I'm fun to hang out with, but I'm never the one they want long term. They never want to commit. They never, God forbid, I want to be someone's girlfriend because apparently that's crazy.
You know, guys, I find these videos really funny because it's like, if you treat a lot of these girls 20% of the way that men are treated, they lose their mind and they're crying on TikTok about how they can't secure a relationship. Most men are just straight up invisible to women, and yet you have these girls on here crying and complaining because men won't give them a relationship. And when they say men, they're not actually talking about all men. They're just talking about the men that they would like to have a relationship with. Most men are unattractive to most women. Now, they could have a relationship with these guys. They could go out on their dinner dates, but no, they want it from the attractive guys, the guys who have their life all sorted out, who, you know, are not clearly not interested in commitment. And by the way, guys, if you're wondering what, check this out. If you're wondering why she sounds so funny here, it's because Manosphere had to edit out music in the background. What is the bet that the music playing in the background was like some sad piano to make us feel, you know, empathetic towards her situation?
And how dare I even try to think about that?
Yeah, I actually agree with her. She's being facetious here, but yeah, how dare you? Right? How you think that you are going to get commitment out of these men that obviously don't want you? Yeah, you're out of your league. A lot of these guys who make a lot of money, who look really good, who hit the gym all the time, who are, for all intents and purposes, quote-unquote chads, yeah, they're out of your league. You're a 30-plus-year-old woman looking for a relationship where you're not going to find one.
I'm just tired of it. It's almost easier to just not even give anyone a shot, because that means they all disappoint you in the long run. So just don't even know what to do.
Thank you. Come again.
Sorry about the audio, guys. Of course, she had a sad song in the
I knew it. What did I tell you guys? I swear I didn't watch this clip beforehand. They always have a sad song in the background. I knew it. I knew it.
background, so I had to remove it. But just think about it, guys. She's 35, and I am 35. Can you see the difference? And she wonders why she can't find a man.
Oh yes, more sad piano. So this says when you leave a 10-year relationship/marriage because you thought life would be better.
You know why I pulled you over?
Depends on how long you were following me. Eek.
Why don't we just take it from the top?
Here goes. I sped. I followed too closely. I ran a stop sign. I almost hit a Chevy. I sped some more. I failed to yield at a crosswalk. I changed lanes in the intersection. I changed lanes without signaling while running a red light and speeding.
You know, sometimes
You know, one of the things that like always gets me in these videos, man, is when you'll have the women say things like, you know, he finally showed me his true colors, or I just end up being disappointed. If you wanted commitment from a man, you should have got it up front rather than just get with a whole bunch of dudes or get with him on the second date. That's what modesty means nowadays, guys, you know. Women not going for the first date, but they'll go for the second or third, you know, real modest. But it's amazing to me how they'll say that they're disappointed in men, you know, they get led on, when anyone looking at the situation would tell you that the man's not interested in commitment, he's just having fun.
I feel like I'm just too emotionally like squishy for dating, because I like a person and then it ends and then I'm sad and then you have to start all over and I hate it.
In case anybody out there wants to know what I'm like as a girlfriend,
Absolutely not.
I'll buy you dinner, I'll cook you dinner, and I'll be dinner.
Oh,
I feel sick. You know, guys, like, what's the bet? Girls who make those videos like that, I swear, like, such a high percentage of them, they're like, yeah, I'll do this and that for you, right? But number one, only if you're attractive, and number two, in all likelihood, they're, you know, probably a single mother or something.
Oh, I think you're a really great girl, but nobody cares. Ghost me. Spare me. I was doing fine. I thought you passed away.
Overweight, 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 purple hair, pink hair.
Receding hairline, receding hairline, receding hairline, receding hairline, hat, fish photo, dog photo, guitar photo, receding hairline, dad bod, dad bod, dad bod, dad bod.
It's funny to me how she complains about receding hairlines and dad bods when she looks like that at 37. 37, guys, and she compares herself with that guy.
Something else I'd like to point out in this video is, number one, men can't control their hair follicles, but you can control your weight. And second of all, you have a more receding hairline than my dad, who is like, you know, a considerably older fellow. You know, this woman throwing out the receding hairline insults when her hairline is receding more than most men who have, you know, male pattern hair loss is pretty interesting. But let's continue.
I'm gonna cry through this heartbreak I'm going through, but it's hard to not cry over someone that you really never had a chance to explore a relationship with further. I'm really realizing that situationships are like the hardest breakup to get through, because it's like you never really got to see where the relationship could have gone, and you never really got that commitment.
Guys, when I watch these videos and they have like the sad music playing in the background and they're crying about lack of commitment, I honestly just think it's really funny. Like when I'm sitting here, my character is like smiling, as you can see. He's always smiling even when he's not talking, right? But that's literally my face when I watch a lot of these videos. I find them to be absolutely hilarious. You know, girls sitting here saying, oh, things were just so difficult. I'm sad that it didn't develop further. You know, you could, like, it's amazing to me how girls will just go out and date guys for like 4 months and then be confused when men don't want to commit to them. The man never wanted to commit to you in the first place. He absolutely didn't. And you can be a strong, independent boss babe. You can be a queen and do whatever it is that you think men do. You know, just go out here and see a whole bunch of dudes. But at the end of the day, it's you who loses. You know, it's not the men. The men are laughing the whole time. They don't care about committing to you. Hell, even the men, get this right, even the men who are like not women's first choice in dating, a lot of these guys don't view it as any point, you know, committing to these women either. You know, like even the guy who can't get many women at all, oftentimes these men don't even want to commit to modern women because they treat them terribly, or because a lot of these guys realize that even if they did, they're going to get screwed over. So, you know, the women are the ones that lose as a result of all this quote-unquote empowerment. I mean, take these TikTok videos of all of them crying as some evidence towards that. Let's keep going.
I didn't think dating could get much more impersonal than Tinder. But here we are in 2023 with people doing lives, holding up signs saying I'm not talking until my perfect match requests to join, and then having other signs asking what their age is, where they have kids, where they live. What the fuck?
I'm gonna guess she's a single mother because she took offense to someone asking if she has children.
Thank you so much for this. It was entirely unhelpful, but thank you nevertheless.
Do you want to know why that man walked away from you?
Because he wasn't interested.
Think about it. You've been praying for a good man. You've been praying for a husband. Just wasn't it, sis. And that's okay. You're better than this. Pick yourself up. Move on. You got this, girl.
Let me play a sad song for you on the world's smallest violin.
The same old advice that women give each other. If you can't find a man, it's not because you're getting older. It's not because you have too high of a standards. No, it's because of the man. If you keep dating toxic after toxic man, it's not because of you. It's not because you choose those kinds of men. It's because of the man. Never lower your standards. Never.
One thing I'll also say is that a lot of these girls, it's really sad to say, but they actually don't have anything to offer a guy. And if you give them anything constructive, like I made this point on a lot of videos, guys, but like it's basically become socially unacceptable to encourage women to do anything positive for a man. Like you'll literally have women out here who their friends, like I've seen married women, right, literally get shamed for cooking their husband a meal. Isn't that amazing? Like we live in a year right now where it's absolutely negative. It's absolutely a bad thing to apparently do anything positive for a guy at all. You're supposed to go out here, live your boss babe queen life. And then when guys look at you and say, look, I'm not really interested. Oh, well, apparently it's, you know, it's the man's fault. He just wasn't mature enough. maybe, first of all, men are not interested in the same things that women are when we're looking for a relationship. That's number one. Number two, girls will never take any sort of constructive criticism on what men actually want. So, like, when you come along and say, oh, I can't find a good man, I've heard women say this to dudes, and dudes just shut up because you can't even say anything without them, you know, calling you a misogynist or anything like this. Like, feel like you don't like women at all, even if you're trying to give them good advice. But let's keep going. Oh, no, what's this one?
Post-wall. You might want to stop and ask yourself why. And what I mean by that, you don't want to ask your girlfriends. You don't want to ask your parents. You know, you may or may not ask your ex-boyfriend's ex-husband. Well, what I will submit to you, you might want to go to some therapy. Because I'm gonna tell you, when I went to with that turning point of, like I said, of the relationship that ended violently, you know, I'm sobbing in his office. You know, I'm like, you know, how did I get here? And I'm sobbing uncontrollably. And he said, you know, Terry, there's a common theme, and the men that you're choosing are the men that you're allowing to choose you. And why is that? It was only until I was able to answer that question. And here's the thing. I had to peel back some stuff that went deep, deep, like, you know, childhood, adolescence, because it brought me there. I had to deal with that. And I was trying to, every relationship I went to was a Band-Aid to try to mask my own emptiness, but you couldn't have convinced me of that because I had a career, I looked good, I had all my ish, but and you couldn't have convinced me I was broken. So again, if you're there, before you try to connect with anybody, you really need to get and connect with yourself. Because I'm gonna tell you something, ladies, you need to hear me and hear me well. You know, Shay Sade, and we don't have the same genes, but I got pictures. I had hair like that once.
You said you had hair like that once?
Yes, that was mine. Okay, it might not have been that long, but I had thick, thick hair and thought I was gonna always have it. I had a slamming body, thought I was gonna always have it. You understand me? Had tight skin on my face, thought I was gonna always have it.
Unfortunately, that describes a lot of modern women today. I thought I could have always have it.
Notice how they only come to this realization when she gets older. Guys, I don't buy this whole, like, I've done my healing and I went to therapy and now I know better type thing, because even the women who claim to know better, they've had their epiphany, they realize that they need to do some inner child healing or whatever bullcrap you want to call it. Number one, they'd still go back to the bad boys if they could. And number two, the epiphanies and the self-realizations mean very little when the only reason you're having these things is because you're forced to, you know? Like, girls get to this age, and for the first time in their life, this is what happens, guys. For the first time in their life, they're hit with a bit of reality. Right? Because throughout their 20s, you know, maybe early 30s, if they're genetically gifted or they take care of themselves or whatever, they can sort of ignore reality, particularly in their early 20s. They can just straight up ignore it, okay? But as they get older, you know, they can't ignore reality. And when they get 40, 50, etc., then it's like, it's very, very apparent. So I don't buy all this healing or she's done her work on herself now or all of this stuff, because number one, she'd still go back to the bad boys, like I said. And number two, you didn't learn anything. You were just forced to acknowledge things. I believe there's a phrase, I think I heard it some time ago, I forget who said it. But you know, these women, they turn their what do they call it? I forget exactly what it is, but they basically make virtues out of necessities, turning their necessities into a virtue, I believe it was. But let's continue.
Can I just say it's a joke? Being over 35, getting back in the dating world, it is completely different, especially coming across these boys acting like they're men.
I covered this video, I think it was a couple of days ago. Notice, guys, how it's straight to the shaming language. Okay, it's because men don't want to commit to me, men are childish, men are boys. Straight to the shaming language.
Thinking that they know how to treat a woman here.
They don't care about how they treat you. That's why they're not giving you a relationship.
I mean, it's flattering that they're looking to date an older woman. There's a reason why.
Yeah, they're not looking to date you, madam. They are just looking to have fun And if, you know, that's a validating reason for you, I mean, sure, have fun with it while it lasts. But again, good luck getting the commitment.
We know how to work it. We know how to take care of men. And we don't take bullshit. We're mature enough to not overreact and go crazy because it's not worth our time.
I guarantee you this woman has went absolutely ballistic on multiple occasions.
But enough of this body shaming. Love ourselves for who we are. Because otherwise, my belly, especially my mom belly, my stretch marks, please, I love myself way too much to be shamed by you. So ladies, love yourself. Don't go chasing a man. One day you'll bump into him.
So she's mature enough to not overreact and she doesn't care. But she makes a TikTok about it and she tells other women to not chase men, cause men will just fall from the sky.
Wanna guess, who feels like an idiot? Because he did the same thing. Yep.
Guys, I'll say this because it doesn't seem like she's saying a whole lot of anything. But she mentioned a guy doing the same thing. So I'm just going to guess here and say that perhaps she got cheated on or something like that, which of course is a terrible thing, right? I don't know. I'm just going to guess that she got cheated on, okay? My thing is this, guys. If someone does something awful to you, right, now she could just not be securing commitment and think that that's awful, but it seems like she got cheated on, right? If someone like cheats on you or does something genuinely awful, don't spend your time making TikToks. That's number one. Number two, never ever go back to them. I don't care if you're a man. I don't care if you're a woman. I don't particularly like cheating or anything along those lines, guys. But please understand, never go back to people who give you bad behavior because it's just going to, you've basically just said this is okay. You know what I mean? So if you get cheated on and you're a dude, you're a woman, you go back to the person who cheated on you, please expect to be cheated on again, probably a lot more frequently, etc. But if this woman's crying about, you know, unable to get commitment, then that's pretty funny.
Feeling pretty stupid.
Cry. So she makes a TikTok and cries because he did it again. You all know it, accountability is a woman's worst nightmare. It's not her fault for choosing a toxic man.
Guys, I'll say this. I can understand, maybe you're young, you don't have a father figure around, whatever, you get cheated on once, okay? Something bad happens to you once, but at a certain point, you've got to understand, it's honestly a pattern for a lot of these women. It's not just like, oh, they chose one bad boy and then it ended there. No, it's usually again and again. They have back-to-back situationships where they can't seem to get commitment. And so you can usually tell this because they have a very negative opinion of men overall, despite the fact that that's just a reflection of the men that they constantly pick. It never really is typically a one-time off type of situation. Guys, we're going to be leaving it there. Don't forget to go and subscribe to Manosphere for, you know, putting together today's video for us to react to. I'm going to leave his channel linked in the pinned comment, guys, so make sure that you go and feel... what am I saying, man? I need to have a lie down after watching these videos. Make sure to go and subscribe to his channel, guys. Show him some support. And as always, guys, make sure you take care of yourselves. And I'll be seeing you all in the next one. Peace.